We'll call our meeting to order. Yeah, but I'll forget one if I don't. I would ask us to stand and face the flag if you're so inclined and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It is 6:02, all here but Kurt. Kurt will be just a few minutes late, according to reliable sources, so he can just pick up when he comes in. First thing on the agenda is the approval. Does anyone have any additions, subtractions? If not, I would look for an approval.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Pat, seconded by Jerry. Other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Approval of the minutes for August 25. Have you had a chance to look them over?
Yes. I don't remember that date.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Pat, seconded by Rob. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Scheduled presenters. The teachers are here on presentation on technology. That means we're moving ever so close. So,
I'm Stephanie Bowen, Sarah Woodcock. We teach 5th grade. We just received the iPads last week. Actually, I had a student today finally receive their iPad, so it's been kind of a slow rollout, but it has to do with parents and other issues coming into play. Sarah will pass out things we're excited about with the iPad, our goals that we have with the iPad, and of course things are going to change as we get into using them.
I wonder if you'd just mind sliding down a little bit closer toward Pat, and we can get you all on the TV screen, in case people are wondering who you all are. Can you introduce yourselves?
I'm Sarah Woodcock, 5th grade teacher.
Stephanie Bowen.
Cal Vandegood, freshman teacher.
Matt Doctor, freshman teacher.
Missy Flatwork, 6th grade.
Thank you.
And we just compiled for 5th grade just quick little items about why we're excited about using the iPads. Discovery Education is an app that we have, but it's also a website that offers for science, math, and social studies. It's a great resource, and this puts it at the students' fingertips, and they also offer on this particular app that interactive with the iPads. So we're excited about that. Makes learning more memorable by using audio and video recorders. They can videotape each other or selfies themselves and listen to themselves read, which helps with fluency, read aloud, and hopefully will improve communication with families and colleagues. I know I have a couple families that don't have internet, so we still have to do it the old-fashioned way. Learning more efficient because it becomes immediate feedback with interactive tools and quizzes. We are hoping to be able to give tests on our iPads, so it's easier for us as well because hopefully we get to grade 2, and so we get our results much faster than doing it by hand. And the students obviously love doing things on their iPad. Media Center is at their fingertips. I've already used it for my students who have had it to do research projects on various things, the Komodo dragon. So that put that at their fingertips, and they could see the size and compare it to other animals. We're working on collective nouns and various types of nouns that come across a word they don't know. They can Google it right away, and they get a picture as well as the word and the definition. It's been awesome. Love it. Makes group projects much easier because they can all work together, and every student will have the same opportunity. How we plan to use them: internet research, which I've already talked about, making videos, taking notes during class. We're still working on that, the typing issue, opposed to using your pencil, but that is something that they do have on their iPad already installed with some notes. Class blogs. Talking to other students possibly in other districts is always an option that we have now that they have it at their fingertips. Read alouds, we talked about. Cursive. Cursive is always fun. They don't use it too much since 3rd grade, but we're working on it more in 5th grade, so they know how to use those letter formations. And I still get, how do you do an F? How do you do a J? So this will be easier for them too, and they can see it and they can practice. That's very nice. Virtual field trips presentations. Things that have been done this week or this past week, not necessarily in my class because I've been 3 short. Schoology, which is how we're going to be communicating with the parents and the students, has been set up. And for those who have students in my class, that will be this coming week. Spelling City, which is another awesome app that we have. The students get to practice their spelling words on their iPad, and they can also take their test on their iPad. And hoping to have the spelling words individualized per student as to the needs that they need, and that allows us to do that. Extra math, practice math stats, and using science as a camera for a scavenger hunt for different types of leaves and fungus and all that other good stuff that's outside. So that's our 5th grade vision at this point.
And I just wanted to add on there, you heard the word Discovery Education. That was just recently purchased by our Ed Foundation, and I know some of them are in the room tonight, so just want to thank them again. And also, they purchased a very large purchase, which was Schoology. And had they not been able to do that, we certainly couldn't have afforded it. So just want to thank the Ed Foundation and everyone that supports the foundation, because I can see already with having a child in 5th grade how you guys are using this, and they're very excited for it. Thank you.
Cal Vandehoe, freshman English. I'm using the tablets in Com 9, which is so far going pretty cool, but it's only been a week, so we haven't done too much yet. Basically what I'm trying to do is everything that we've been doing outside of class and kind of go to the lab, I've been pulling it in class, and I'm trying to push paperless, which Schoology is a huge part of that. I've got like 6 folders set up and have already saved probably 2 reams of paper that I would normally use to hand out stuff. Handing out more examples, being able to put it up there. The kids are all logged into Schoology. They're in my class, they're in Mr. Dutcher's class already for the freshmen. And all of the Google stuff we're just trying to do, like simple things today, I showed all the freshmen. I have a calendar that I do all my planning for Com 9 on a Google Calendar. I shared it with all 100 freshmen today, showed them how to find it. Surprising number of them didn't know how to find it, and so while they may be tech savvy with texting, they still need a lot of other help. And so I showed them with that today. I showed them how to use a Google Calendar, how to set it up, doing some easy stuff like that just to kind of make use of it. Some of the other things I talked to the tech department this morning about. For exception making, we use I don't know if you're familiar with the Google Drive icon that can put it on the hard drive. And so you can take your cloud information and put it directly on your hard drive. And that's how we use for Extemp Speaking, that we keep all the information in one spot offline. And I had 2 kids today say that they're having trouble, they're not sure how they're going to do their homework because they don't have internet access at home, they don't have Wi-Fi. And so we started talking today about trying to figure out how to get that icon down on there. Unfortunately, it's got an admin setting, so we have to figure out how to push it or to do it. But eventually, I have them be able to take their Google Doc Cloud, and it'll be synced to their hard drive. That way, they can work either direction, no matter what. We have a poem due on Friday. It's due in Google Docs. They're going to share with their partner in the cloud and collaborate back and forth, and everybody's going to be on the computer, and we're going to do that back and forth. They're going to be able to do that, which I've been doing for a year or 2 already, but we have to go to the lab to do that. So I think it's going to be far more effective. Once we get past all the questions of how we do stuff and how we log on, it's going to save an immeasurable amount of time in my class. We went right to typing on the hard drive. Having to encourage the kids to type instead of to pick. But they're working on it, and they're developing systems. They're all sitting here. They're trying to, with the little kickstand on the back. They want to set it all the way up, and I'm like, no, find something else. So we have a lot of experimentation going on. And the other thing I was really excited about, I'm going to show you on Schoology has a Remind app, and so there's a web-based program called Remind, and basically what it is a one-way texting that you can blast out, and they can't return the text. They have to then email me back, which they all know that now, which is very cool. So like, I just have the app on it here, and so I click, I've got Com 9, Homeroom, Mass Media, and then eventually the speech team is going to be on it. And so these are live, and it goes, instead of going to their email, because I've always done that where I've got all of them on a group email, this actually they sign up for their phones. Last week, I said, pull it up, here's the directions. Had them open their tablets and said, I would like you to forward this to your parents. And a few of them signed up, and a few of them, but a lot of them haven't yet. I don't know if it got to them or they didn't understand, but at PT conferences, and I'm able to do that. So all I have to do, just looks like a texting program, is I just click on COM9, and it sends out a blast to everybody all at once. And the app is on the phone. Plus, you can also go into Schoology and just type it, and not doing it from here. And so I was really excited to do that, because when we went to Google, we used to have something called Newsflash on the prior platform to Google, which worked really cool that you could do it on the website. And the best thing about this is they don't have my number and I don't have their number. It's all protected via the website, and it only goes one way. And then if they have a question, all they have to do is email me, which goes to my phone as well. So it doesn't make any difference. So those are the main things that I'm doing with it.
In science so far, we've used Excel earlier this week, which in past engineering lives I found out was a fairly helpful tool to know how to use. And so instead of just, we went out and collected some data, and instead of spending a day, graphing by hand and trying to, erase things, and had Excel do it for you, which, it's still important, obviously, at some point to figure out how to graph by hand. But this way we could spend a day, that same class time, on what does the graph mean, which when you come to the MCA tests and all the scores, that's what they have to do in the tests. They don't have to graph on the test. They have to look at a graph and say, this is what this means, answer questions. So that we've already, gotten to some of the more important, the beef a bit quicker than the busy work, it felt like. For me, Schoology, I've done some quizzes on so far, which gives the kids like kind of instant feedback and a chance to go back and figure out what they don't know and even take a second chance at it, and just learn from the quizzes. So they're more building quizzes.
I haven't tried that yet. I'm going to try that on Friday with the first assignment. Not a quiz. I'm going to have them upload the repetition poem rough draft, just so that I can see it all on the spot, and then start figuring out how to use it. My problem is I've been grading papers for 25 years on paper, and trying to keep the entire writing process in a point that it's manageable for 100 online simultaneously. It's really easy to upload the final draft, but I want to be able to maintain the rough drafts all the way through. And so he's actually going to show me some of that, because he's been playing with it a bit more than I have.
And the other cool thing with Schoology is that if I place an assignment, I've been doing a lot of Word files just because I do have kids that don't have internet at home, and so they can go on Schoology, they can download the assignment as a Word file onto their computer, take that home, work on it, finish at home, and then when they come to school, it takes them 10 seconds to re-upload it to submit their assignment, so they don't have to have internet at home to be able to make it work. It's been really nice.
Do you want to see how Schoology looks? Do you want to see it on the screen?
I do.
Do you want to put yours, or do you want?
I can, if somebody didn't,
Log in
I can log in.
The computer's logged on, Schoology page is up, you just need to turn on the projector and log in.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'll kind of tell you what I've been doing with my sixth graders. Here they are working on their devices. But I'm kind of going to speak for all of the sixth grade teachers and what we've been able to do so far in 1 week. Mr. Gunderson has done in science class some research on them. They were doing a lesson on physical changes, and so he had them research the formation of the Grand Canyon. And they had a really good time doing that. In English class, she hasn't had a lot of time to really get much done. She's got all of her quizzes and all of her tests and everything on Schoology and ready to go, but they haven't had a need for it yet this week. And she's hoping to get it so that their journaling will be online in kind of a blog format. In math, there's all kinds of neat things she's planning to do. She has the math book online. She has tutorial sites online. She plans to do homework checks with them. And manipulatives, there's a neat one here. Anything from like measuring angles. Here the kids can go online and she can watch, it's like a little quiz. It's not going to bump up. There. Where they are given an angle and they have to move the protractor around to measure it. There's a lot of math manipulatives like that where they actually move and work the devices. In social studies class, the History Center has a really neat connection to our textbook. That's an ebook that they just updated this last year. And it's really neat because it brings field trips to us in a way. We used to have to go there if you wanted to see the history player, or you had to pay a lot of money to see the history player come here and present. Well, now they've got them embedded in the lessons. So on my Civil War lesson, we can go in and there's a history player being Dred Scott and one being Harriet Scott. And we can sit and listen to them and their stories. We use my football player in my crescent roll. That's going to be my homecoming door. And it's going to be really cool. Everybody's got to come and see it. CNN Student News, if kids are gone at all, we watch that every day and they love it. All of my lessons are on Schoology. I've already given some quizzes on Schoology. I haven't done a chapter test yet. But the quiz went really well, except for the few that haven't been able to log on to Schoology. They've been gone and haven't gotten their usernames correct. But that's all in 1 week. We've been able to do all these things. And we're just getting familiar with it all, too, and working out the bugs. So I think we've accomplished an awful lot in a week. Haven't had anybody forget theirs at home. I've only had one that didn't get charged overnight. So the kids are taking it really seriously, and they're taking good care of them. And the hardest thing is getting them to close them when they need to be put away. They are really anxious and excited to dig in. And he's got Schoology out there. So
And I'm actually surprised that they've been less distracting than what I feared coming in. I can already notice because now with the screen, because I have a smart board in my room, and so I have my dock and I have my main screen, and then I've got my smart board up there. I'm already struggling not being able to touch the screens back and forth and going back. It took me a little while to get used to it, but now I can hardly do it. I don't really have very much up yet, but these are like, so this is like all of my initial material. These are going to be links for the whole thing, and these are the class guidelines and materials. These are things that I went in class. This weekend I went through, I take the school's research links and I take all the best research and InfoTrack and all that sort of thing, and I put it into one spot, which I think is going to work a lot better than my what I was doing, which is basically, see, I'm already messing it up. And putting it all in here, the kids are going to be able to go to it. And like today, I had them, I said when they were done reading, I said just log into Gmail, because I wanted to show them the calendar, log into Schoology. They all have it accomplished except for a few that are having troubles, but we're working through those tech issues, and they're really far more minor than what I expected. And so I'm pretty excited about having it here. I haven't done a research paper yet, so this is for 3 assignments found. But I wanted to get rid of my Google page. And I think it's going to be a lot better because they could never find my Google page, even though I would tell them how to go to it and go to staff directory and everything else. And that's going to be the great thing about it. The rest of there's not a lot in it. I can show you the autobiographical speech that we're working on right now. And so the assignment page is there. This one I actually handed out on paper because I didn't have the tablets yet. Today we went over rules of outlining. And then here are my 3 examples that I gave them 3 examples of different outlines and different formats about me. I have a cat speech and a travel speech and a sports example, all the way to do the autobiographical speech. And so I have all 3 of them out there. We started outlining today. We went over the 5 rules of outlining. And it's real simple. It's just real simple to open these. And if you want to look them on the screen, they just pop up there. And like Mr. Drucker said, you hit the download file, you can put it on your hard drive, so anybody that needs to work on their own and pull them off. I haven't done the bit. What I'm planning on doing, and I didn't do it on this one, so on the next assignment, I'm going to have them download the file and put it either in Google Docs or on the hard drive or in a MS Word, download it, and then start typing all of their answers and doing thing in there. And then that way they can submit those automatically through Schoology or whatever. I haven't really figured out which way I'm going to do that yet. We have several options, which is really, really nice. I'm also thinking about setting up Master Com9, that I'll have every student set up a shared folder with me on Google Docs, and then that way every time I want an assignment come in, all I have to do is throw in the assignment. And tomorrow we're going to be changing the journals over to a master Google Doc file, and they're going to share that all with me once, and then every time I want to grade the journals, I just got to click on each kid, click, 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 click. And what I'm really excited about is I can see their revision history, and I can see when they can do it. And I'm also pretty excited about having it all in one place and being able to comment back and forth, and have some of that control and some of those things that electronic signatures will track for me automatically. Yeah.
Hey, Cal, are you getting like this material that you have on screen now? Is that stuff through Schoology? Is this stuff that you drew?
Oh, no, I write everything myself.
You have all that?
Yeah, this is all my stuff. These
Everything
are
we put on
assignments I've
there
been doing
is
for a while.
stuff we create. It
You
doesn't
created
come.
it, so-
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, no, none of this is Schoology. This is all,
It's just
no,
a
this is all mine. This
Is it like
is,
a learning management
Yep.
system?
Yeah, so we have-
That's where they put everything, but it doesn't.
So was this stuff that you had in your own lesson plan and then you just pushed it on? the
I'm
way?
just pushing it all up. At the moment, I'm just pushing it up and organizing it. It was a little weird for the last 15 years here. I made every one of my freshmen get a 3-ring binder with 4 folders or 4 dividers, and I would name those into 4 areas, and I would do that. And when I handed out a poetry assignment, I said, put this in your poetry section. When we do a grammar assignment, put it in your handbook section. And I would kind of help them with this organization, and now I'm the organization. You log into Schoology, it's all there. Now, some of the things like taking notes and how I want them to take notes, because I've been telling kids to pen to paper for 25 years. And giving them really specific advice is like, okay, pull up the poetry file and this is here's how I think you should take notes, or find something better. I really haven't worked that out yet, but like I said, it's been a week. And so, in all honesty, I'm kind of surprised I've made this much progress in a week. It's going well. I don't have anything in my mass media class because they don't have tablets. But I'm actually pretty excited eventually, because the mass media class has a lot of film study in it. I'm kind of excited about, in the next 2 years, trying to figure out how to turn that into a flipped course, where they're going to be watching a lot more stuff outside of class and then coming inside of class, and I'm looking to time shift to my advantage. I don't know how to do that yet, but I got 2 years to figure that one out. I'm not worried about it, I'm trying to figure this.
It's a very secure, safe site. If you look over on the left, you see the green access code. The only way a student can see what Cal has up here is if they have that access code. And under the members tab, he can see all the students that are enrolled in his course. So if there's anyone that's gotten a hold of that class that shouldn't, he can
Well,
boot them out
yeah.
of there.
Right.
And for the littler ones, like the badges, you can send a badge that says, good listener today, or, there's a bazillion things to give them some positive reinforcement.
Who has access to the access codes?
The teachers. When we create a course, that gives us a code.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then we
is
push
that
it out.
open for administration, all that, to gain access to just for certain purposes?
If they give me the code.
If they invite us,
I
absolutely.
have one class where my educational assistant in that hour has joined the class as well, so she has access to all of the same documents, and so she doesn't have to come asking me for the worksheet. She just clicks it, prints it, sends it, whatever she needs to do. And so I've got one that has done that already, and so yeah, all of that's possible.
There's also parent access codes, though what they show you, I'm not sure yet. So we'll figure that out as well.
Yeah.
We're
Pretty
hoping
cool.
too to get a homework app that will kind of merge here, so that parents can have an access code to that, so they can see what their kids have for missing work, what's due tonight, what's due tomorrow.
Oh, does the campus do that already?
Campus will show it
It's
after you
easy.
grade, it'll show what's missing. Usually.
Okay.
This itself you can put due dates on all the assignments, and a parent login should show you what your kid is missing.
So if you
Or
loaded
has
that-
coming up or looking up.
So if you loaded it up for the semester for next year, parents could see what's coming up.
Everything for the whole semester probably.
And you can lock certain assignments down, quizzes and tests and things, so that they can't open them, they can't see them, only the
Right.
time period that you open it up. So it keeps the integrity of
And I think the thing is too about Schoology, Infinite Campus supposedly has some of these functions. It is so labyrinthine that and it's like, I've got the grade book figured out and I can do attendance, and a couple of others, and it's just, it's so much more complicated. Schoology, I mean, it's like logging on to Facebook, except it's easier. Everything is point and click and drag. And so it's super easy. That's the sign in for the Remind app. The app's right in the corner of the side over there, so that I can just log in when I'm already in Schoology and send messages from there as well. But it's not going to work very well, obviously, because I'm playing with this. But when you're doing stuff like this, if I want to move this up, that's it. That's all there is to it. Once you put it in, you can drag and drop into anywhere you want, and to be able to do it. I'm not on Turnitin yet, but the kids don't know about you. They don't know about Turnitin.com. They're going to find that out next week, Friday.
Any questions?
What are the challenges with all this? It may be a little early, but what are the challenges you're coming against? What are some roadblocks? Are teachers accepting of it? There are some teachers that need guidance, because looking at yours up there, Cal, it's like that could be overwhelming. It's like, where do I start to put my lesson plans in place on this white face sheet, this whiteboard that's given to me? Is there, for you it seems like it's going well, but for other teachers out there, how's it going?
They need time. They need time.
Yeah.
We knew we were getting them in 6th grade, so we did some curriculum writing this summer. We had the time to get things on here and set up and ready to go. But it is overwhelming right away. You do need the time to be able to get that done. And the kids came in the first day and they're ready to go. They want everything on there. They want to do everything on here 100%, and it's just not that way.
And the grades that got them, they applied for that. The teachers all had to, I know Dirk isn't here to kind of talk about that, but he went through a pretty serious process to find the grades that the iPads would go to. I don't know, Tim, what your exact process was, but I know at the elementary they had to write and submit and present if they wanted to be a grade level, that was receiving of these. So I think the teachers that got them this first year, and then they'll see everyone using them, that second year and third year just gets easier and easier.
There'll be a support system by then, too. We've been there, done that, and we can help problem solve a little bit.
I'm really amazed at how excited I am about it so far, because my class is going to use it. I told my kids today, I said, just plan, I'm going to use them almost every day. Maybe a little, maybe a lot, but it's going to be almost every day. The thing that I think is very cool is I don't believe in the myth of teenagers being tech savvy, and today kind of proved it. It's like, pull up your Google Calendar, and I have to show them, hit the box with 9 dots, pull up calendar, where is it, and that sort of thing. They're very good at a lot of things, but they're not really tech savvy beyond a very small range of material. And so that one of the things that I'm going to teach them is we're going to use CleanSave on a Chrome extension and pull all their data. And instead of printing out all of their information, I'm going to have all of them save their research into a Google Doc folder, and it just goes ding, 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 all in PDFs, and they have it all in front of them able to do that. And they can't do that. They can't do that. And I was looking at it today, and I'm just going, these kids are going to be so tech literate when you get the elementary kids from one platform, and then they come up here and learn the other platform. When they graduate as seniors, they're going to be fluent in both platforms. And I had a student or a parent tell me a while back that her child got a job because he was the only one that could run the program. And it's like that sort of like just base kind of get in there and work hard and be able to run every program is far more valuable than I think most people really realize. And I'm just excited that our kids are going to have that kind of fluency in technology with all of the things that we're able to show them. Because they can't keep up with us.
They're motivated to problem solve and to work their way through it if they get stuck. Today, it's kind of the opposite. I was trying to delete something from a podcast. I'm in the settings trying to find delete and nothing's working and kids are waiting and one of them finally says, try hitting your delete button. It worked.
I think they're comfortable with them.
Yeah.
There's a few of them complaining, but I haven't noticed that the change. People who are inattentive in both there. People who are productive are being productive in both, and it just doesn't seem to be really changing a lot of those dynamics. A little with the minority, but.
One thing, Kurt, to answer your question, if Calsta had his Schoology page up, the very top course is actually a staff development course for middle school, high school, where there's a lot of information about Schoology, and we're going to continue to fill that course with tech information about Schoology, the tablets, Infinite Campus, just whatever kind of stuff comes up. So staff kind of has heard it from me. We spent some time in our workshop. Every staff member has a course started in Schoology, and I've kind of set for them, this is a learning year, and by the end of the year, the expectation is that everybody will have a course ready to go live on Schoology, whether you're implementing one-to-one this year or not. So staff development has devoted a lot of time to technology this year, and I think through our whole 3-year initiative, we've devoted a lot of technology, staff development time and resources to helping people be ready to go when time comes. But like these teachers have already said, in the first week there's a lot of unknowns and there's a lot of figuring things out as we go. The coolest thing that I've seen last week is normally in 6th grade lunch, you've got 6th graders who wolf down their food, go to the a la carte line, buy cookies, and then they're out running around in the atrium. Last week it was kids sitting around tables, everybody with a tablet, helping each other figure out how to do this and how to get onto that and how to do that kind of thing. So that collaboration piece was really cool to see. Hopefully,
it was almost eerie.
It was.
We looked at each other and the volume level of the 6th grade lunch. Are they here? Are they all here?
Yeah.
Where are they all hiding? Because they were legitimately having this engaged dialogue on, did you figure out how to turn your camera on yet? No, can you show me that real quick? Or my case is starting to come off. Can you show me how to fix that real quick? And it was real. Like you said, they were motivated to do it themselves, and it was not adult-led at all.
Right.
And so for them, I think it's this dynamic that what used to be a toy is now a tool, and they're going to have to grow up very quickly with it. And so including the 4th and 5th grade, where just, their age level alone, they have to figure out this is a tool. And I think the more they have these conversations with each other, they pick it up that, oh, this is really cool, I can do that. Oh, let's try this, so.
I really, really, really wish that the night of open house, I would have had my camera turned on, because I tell the kids, now you need to come for a meeting here, whatever date, because you're going to get one of these. And you should have seen their faces. You would not have believed their faces. Their eyeballs got this big, and it was just really, really neat to watch, and the motivation has stayed
And
there
I
since.
think it's really important. I didn't see the 6th graders, but I can see my freshmen. It's really instructive to see what they put as their wallpaper. And so far, all appropriate. And but I think the idea, and Tim and I have had this discussion, that you can't lock down every decision. They have to feel like they own them, even though they don't, and they know it. But that being able to personalize it and make it your workspace, and not trying to do like Los Angeles Unified, where they tried to lock down everything and failed. It's really important, and the philosophy that we're taking is, we're going to treat this like a textbook, and you need to give it respect. But it's yours, and you can personalize it and feel comfortable in your work environment, and you're responsible for doing if you do dumb stuff. we're going to hold you accountable for that like anything else. And I think that approach is really positive, and I think that's maybe why the kids are so excited about it, because it's just not one more thing we're hanging over their head. It's their own workspace, personalized workspace, and that seems to make a big difference as well.
On a professional level, do you see the dynamics changing with the teacher-student interaction with these, and things you'll have to be more cautious with, and how you inform students, and the privileges that are there, and what I'm saying, because we were at the Minnesota School Board Association that last year, they said, well, when this is coming down, the interaction that you have with students away from school may change. And do you see that as being an issue at all?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Maybe in another 2 years.
I think too, as long as, you mean the communication?
No, some of it was just on a professional level. How do you communicate? Is there something where some are saying in policy should be written just to make sure that if it's in communication with one student, and maybe that'll never happen, just with one individual out there through iPads and the internet versus a mass communication with students, where do you, as a professional, draw a line where, I can't be discussing this with a student versus everyone,
In my mind, that's where Schoology really will help too. If everything goes through that learning management system, I just feel like that's a safe venue.
Those programs, including even like the email, also when you share documents, and if they share them with me back and forth, you can chat on the side. All of those spaces are still school spaces. And every once in a while you have somebody that doesn't realize that's a school space, but that's easy to correct. And as long as you have those spaces that are school spaces, for the most part, they act the same way. And because I've been emailing and back and forth, and I tell them, if you have a question at 10 o'clock, send it to my email, it goes to my phone. I'll answer if I'm awake, or if I can, and if I'm not out, I'll answer as soon as possible, or if it's too long, I'm too old to text that much. And I'll wait till I get to a computer. Well, I need to start doing that, and I haven't yet. Or I'll wait till I get a computer and send you a longer one. I said, you're welcome to communicate. But we have all of our platforms set up as school spaces, and so it's fine.
Cool.
Anyone else?
Thanks.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you.
That sounds great.
Get it one in another 9 months, nothing. After the result.
And remember, you had requested a technology and curriculum meeting together. That'll be this Thursday. I think you'll just see how it's all working together.
Thanks. This is good.
Okay, moving on to the next agenda item, we get the finance report. Josh?
Yep. The attachment B, and first page there just your cash flow worksheet of where we're at in our checking account. Just shy of $3 million in the balance to as the date of the report run. This will follow through November 15th. Like I said, in my office, I'll have the whole fiscal year through. And although we'll get a little tight during debt service payment, it looks like we're going to be able to make through without having to have any aid anticipation certificates or borrowing in order to make the debt service payments at the end of January. So really the only thing to note here on the cash flow sheet are going to be towards the bottom third. You see the county taxes that come in at the end of October being in November. They're just estimates right now. It should be a little bit on the conservative edge. They should be a little higher than that. And again, that would help to aid that balance when we get to the debt service payments. The next page are going to be the summary of the last month reconciled. So you'll see August 2014 compared to August 2013. All funds, in the most part, doing fairly well. The one thing to kind of note or point out is the general fund, about $580,000 behind at this point last year. A couple things that would be of note of that. First off, is the cash balance, not the fund balance. There's a slight difference here, but we had intended on purpose to draw down the fund balance last fiscal year, so a large portion of that is there. And then there's about $300,000 more in expenditures fiscal year 14 versus fiscal year 13, and a large part of that is going to be progress payment to All Systems for locks. We paid 2 Bridger County Ed District payments during the month to help them with cash flow. So there's some expenditures that went out that will kind of explain the difference there. So then you just turn in, this can be the detail if you want to see kind of what goes in and out of each month. Last year, in fiscal year 13, we've had a large cleanup from the state, shifting back to our 90-10 formula. So we had a pretty decent month in cash for fiscal year 13, about $1.5 million. And we had our cleanup. Those payments generally come in August, at 10% from the prior fiscal year. So about $1.65 million in receipts for fiscal year 14. But again, about $300,000 more in expenditures in fiscal year 14 than 13. Part of it would be the timing to another one. That a big expense that went out would be our property insurance. Last year went on in July. This year went on in August. It's a timing thing. The rest of the funds activities are pretty well balanced between fiscal year 14 and fiscal year 13. If you have any questions in particular, I can do my best to answer whatever you would have.
Anyone have any questions?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Jerry,
I'll second.
seconded by Kurt. Other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Having no old business, we'll jump down to the new business section. These consent agenda items are routine, and we can either approve them in their entirety, or for some reason a board member wants to pull one out for any discussion reason, we can. Otherwise, I look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. I'll make a motion to approve.
That's better. Motion by Jerry,
I'll second.
seconded by Rob. Other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I would just like to note on C1, just because I think it's important that we continue to talk about this. Our graduating class, if you look on the attendance report, is 128 students. Our incoming kindergarten is always around 90 to 100. Just be aware that this is the big year. This is the big class that will be graduating, and these are up-to-date numbers. So I just really want that on your radar. It's going to be an interesting year. Big class graduating. That's why I say it every time.
Attachment D, expenditures. Have you had a chance to look those over? Do we have some questions?
How about 42957, the clocks and repair and maintenance with that?
The biggest portion of that is the $7,600 for the clocks at the elementary, and that was all reimbursed or funded by the PTO.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's an in and out for us.
How about 42895? Oh, I'm sorry. 42894.
Safe USA.
Yep.
There's been a lot of changes taking place in the weight room. Some of it is being funded through the district, some through community ed, and some through the sale of a lot of the weight room equipment there. But they sold a lot of the old stuff, so some of that's going to be offset. Some of it's going to be taken care of by the district. It's kind of a shift in how things are going to be done in the weight room, and either Scott Safe or even Jake could help you a little bit more on all the changes there. But from what Scott told us, it can be great for the athletes and the people using it.
There will be a charge next summer that goes along with that, and that'll obviously go through the board. But Jake and I are really excited the kids are using it a lot, and parents are willing to put money towards that, but you gotta have the right equipment in there.
Anyone else? And look for a motion to approve.
We'll make a motion.
Motion by Pat.
I'll second.
Seconded by Kurt. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item C, consideration to approve the bus lease authorization resolution.
And we have to go through resolution again. This is the second round that we've done this. It's just like the last one. We've already started the process. This is actually just for the bank that we need to be able to do this. So unfortunately, Brenda, we'll need you to do the resolution.
Okay, I would look for a motion to approve it first.
I'll make a motion. Okay.
Motion by Rob, it was close. Seconded by Kurt. Okay.
Just the first part here.
Just read the top paragraph.
Okay, so this is a vote for the resolution, whereas Independent School District number 252, the governmental entity, a body politic and corporate duly assigned, organized, and existing as a political subdivision, municipal corporation, or similar corporate entity of the state of Minnesota, the state, is authorized by the laws of the state to purchase, acquire, and lease personal property for the benefit of a governmental entity and its inhabitants, and to enter into contracts with respect thereto. Okay. Kurt?
Yes?
Pat?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Brenda, yes. Rob?
Yes.
Okay, that passes by a 6-0 vote. Thank you.
And I do want you to notice that we went local. It's the only bank that was able to do a lease of this amount. But I thought that was pretty remarkable that they were able to meet and beat the rates of the other banks. So good for merchants and keeping it local.
Consideration to approve the proposed fiscal year 15 levy. Attachment F.
A couple things on here that worth noting. First, you see the kind of large change in general fund, 10.8% increase. And there are a lot of things that go up and down throughout the whole levy report, the 35-page document. But one of the major changes that increase that is $118,000 lease levy is joint agreement for the ed district. And that gets tacked onto the general fund. So a large part of what that increase is, not completely all because there are, like I said, fluctuations, plus and minus throughout the lease. A lot is based on ADM, and that'll get adjusted too as we clean things up. But that's where a large part of that increase comes. Community services down from last year's lease, and that has nothing to do with what we're leasing for. What we're levying for the current year. It's more of an adjustment made on the state's half by what we had for expenditures in school age. It's just an adjustment in there, so it reduces their levy. With what he has in fund balance, what Mr. Winchell has in his fund balance, community service, there's plenty there, so we're good there. It's just an adjustment to clean up some things from fiscal year 13. Debt service, it's set to collect higher than what our debt payment is. We receive 105%. Generally, Goodhue County is good at collecting debts, and we have a little excess in there. When we do have more than enough, we do a manual reduction. We're not able to do that this year. We have done that in the past, but that's your 3% increase there in debt service. And the final one is the OPEB debt service. Last year we had a reduction for debt excess, and this year we're not able to have that, so it looks like a big increase, and all it really is the same as the regular debt service, where we're set to pay our debt on it, plus the 5% that they put in for Goodhue County to make sure that if there are any delinquents, we get our 100% for debt payment. In total, that increases the levy in general 5.7%. If you have any further questions, it's a large document. We can go through it, whether it be here or in my office. But generally, we kind of recommended that you would kind of vote to go for the max levy, and then that anything that would adjust before now and truth and taxation meeting we're all covered for.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Jerry.
Second.
Seconded by Pat. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Item E, consideration to approve the winter head coaches, attachment G. Had a chance to look at that?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Pat.
I'll second.
Seconded by Brenda. Other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Item F, consideration to approve the 2014-15 curriculum and instruction report.
This is strictly procedural. We do it every single year. It's how we get a lot of our funding, especially for literacy aid and some other things. So
I'll make a motion to approve this report.
I'll second.
Brenda made the motion, Kurt seconded. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Consideration to approve the extracurricular special ed support staff job description, attachment H.
yeah, this has come with a lot of work from Sharon Noble, and I'm very appreciative of what she's done. Actually, the Goodhue County Ed District is kind of taking what she's done and going to be using it as well. So a lot of people really like this. What's happening is a lot of our kids that are in special education also obviously do activities after school. Sometimes those activities require an assistant to be with them. It's written into their IEP. But what was happening is you're riding a bus, they already work 8 hours here or 6 hours or whatever it might be, and then they work an evening event. We can't be paying them overtime. It needs to be a different job description. There's different requirements that go along with that. And so what Sharon did, and you can see it all in attachment H, is put all that together. You put a salary with it, and so that it's very clear to the person that accepts the position what it entails. Before we were kind of going off the para contract, but not really, and then we'd have them do a time card. It's just makes things a lot clearer, and the expectations are a lot well-defined.
Is this in effect this year, or?
Yes, it actually was in effect last year. We just didn't have a job description to go along with it.
Okay.
And that Sharon could agree or not agree. It caused a few problems when we didn't have it in writing. So
This is a salary or a hourly?
Hourly.
It says hourly.
Rate of pay, it says.
That's what it says.
That wasn't, I thought you had mentioned it was a salary, but it's.
we did actually look at that. We looked at a stipend for a season. We looked at a salary for a season. And that didn't always work out too, because someone would want to share it, and then it became, what if it wasn't one person doing every single football practice or whatever it might be.
So this could be multiple people doing the same sport.
It could be. Sharon does the hiring for it, but and the scheduling of it. And it's very specific in IEPs if the child gets this or not. It's just not every student or anything like that.
Right,
So.
right. So, but I guess my question would be, this is me, multiple person.
Absolutely
position.
can be. We always kind of hope that it's the same person. That helps us if they're interacting with a child and they get used to that staff member. We've even had high school students that have performed this activity for someone that's in an after-school activity at the elementary. This allows Sharon to have that flexibility, or the principals to have that flexibility of who they want to hire for the position.
Okay.
Yep.
Sharon, anything to add?
I'll make a motion to approve the extracurricular special ed.
Second.
Motion by Rob, seconded by Brenda. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Consideration to accept the resignation.
Yes, I contacted all of you. I'm sure you're aware that Stacy Banks has resigned as our early childhood special education teacher. Normally, we don't allow resignations after the school year has started. Because of budget things that we're looking at for next year, this creates a situation where we can cut the position to a 0.6, which is what my recommendation and Sharon and Derek and I have worked on, and so we'll be making it a 0.6 position. But we really, really appreciate everything Stacy has done for the district. She's been here a long time and worked in the preschool program and done some really great things for the special ed program. So we're very, very thankful for everything that she did, and I would hope that we would accept her resignation.
Go ahead, Kurt.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation.
Motion by Kurt, seconded by Jerry. Any other discussion? Sharon.
Can I? Okay. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you very much. I've gotten just a few hours of sleep because I have lots of sick kids at home. I'm very grateful for the years I've spent here. I hope to come back in a different skin, different position maybe. Okay, this is how I was in best office the other day. I'm okay. I'm okay. I've had I'm serious, maybe 15 hours of sleep in the last 48 hours. But Sierra's down in the hospital right now. But just very thankful for all the years I've been here. Hope to come back. I asked Beth, would you welcome me back as a substitute teacher? And, maybe starting that and going back to some schooling. Just have some things that I want to take care of, be a mom, be a wife, that kind of thing. So thank you. Amazing staff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And please excuse me because I'm going back to St. Mary's.
Bye, Griffin.
Take care of your family.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of the accepting of the resignation, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried.
She just assumed we were going to pass that.
Yeah, it's good of her coming. Consideration to approve the tech coordinator contract for 14-16.
I know you feel like this is deja vu. You've seen this before. No, Enrique Ramos has started with us. The admin team couldn't be happier. He is a good match. Tim is shaking his head. He was working at a school in Wisconsin. He has moved, he and his very young family, to the area, and we welcome him with open arms. And he is definitely a great match to both Sandy and Dorothy and the admin team. We couldn't have gotten a better candidate, so I really hope you approve this, and very thrilled to have Enrique on staff.
And you've interacted with him, and
I'm very happy to have Enrique here.
Been here longer than a week too, right?
Yes. Good.
I'll make a motion.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, no, go ahead.
You know, it was his third day was the iPad,
Rollout
started
day.
the iPad rollout last week, and he stepped right into the middle of that, and, you know, has been doing it since, and he's doing a great job.
good, good.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract.
Motion by Pat,
I'll second it.
seconded by Rob. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried.
I just want to add too, because I know we're always looking at the budget. Lori, worked a really great contract out with Enrique, and this is actually a cost savings to the district. So not only do we have a great candidate, but we worked it out that we've got a cost savings involved here so that the principals can have a little bit more tech flexibility. Maybe their faces. So no, Lori worked
camera.
really, really hard.
That's on camera.
It's
You
on
got
camera,
it.
I know.
Locked in.
Great contract, but I just wanted to let you know we found another way to, between the position with Stacy's and then this one, we found some cost savings there. So.
To roll that into next year.
Right, correct.
So if you cover this year and next year's that double.
Item J, consideration to approve the iPad Dell one-to-one protection plan and the Dell agreement, attachment I.
Yeah, I know you've all seen this ahead of time. We went ahead with our rollout night. Obviously, we only had one board meeting. I felt really comfortable after talking to MSBA and my superintendent organization about we need to run all fees through the board, and that's certainly what we're doing tonight. I just wanted to let you know why we did it ahead of time before we went through the board. You certainly can deny it tonight if you want. We can return those checks to parents. But we did offer an option where the parents didn't have to pay anything, and that's how we wanted that to be. I believe we had, Michael, let me know if I'm the right number here, 6 kids that opted out.
We're down to 4.
We're down to 4 that opted out. So we didn't even have to have in their parents. Most of the reaction to me, actually I'm going to change that. All the reaction to me is, you mean I get this for $25? I get to use this for $25. To them, your savings because they're not buying other things for school. So it looks like we have 4 people that have opted out, and that's fine. We're working that out, and the teachers have no problem with that. I just wanted you to understand why it didn't have to go through the board first, because we did have an opt-out format on there. Hope you understand.
Where's the $25 go? Does that go right into the insurance plan itself?
The parents don't get that back. It'll go into our insurance plan. The schools that are doing it, 25 is actually pretty low, and we'll have to see this year if we break even or not. We'll see how many things we break. It's $25, but then there's a $50 deductible on top of that.
So the $25 goes into a pool?
It goes into a pot to fix these.
Our district pot?
Correct.
Okay.
So then if something happens to the iPad, the parents are responsible for a $50 deductible?
Correct. Unless they worked out something with their insurance company.
And then if they don't buy the protection, then they're responsible for the full cost.
Right, yeah, it's all written.
And lost. So just to be clear, that the one
Correct.
thing that our $25 insurance does not cover is anything that's lost or stolen. There's a replacement fee for that, and we built that into the. We made that really clear on our 2 rollout nights that was kind of the one situation in which
Yep.
you weren't covered if you didn't pick option 1. We made that very clear to parents. So.
Okay,
Okay,
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Jerry made the motion, Brenda seconded that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Consideration to approve the assurance of compliance with state and fed law prohibiting discrimination. Attachment J.
You've all seen this before. We do this every September. It's just what every company, whether you work for Mayo Clinic or, NAC or wherever you work for, you have an assurance. You have to have an assurance of compliance in this area.
I'll make a motion for the insurance compliance with
I'll
the state.
second.
Motion by Kurt, seconded by Pat. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Item L, consideration to approve the first reading of policy 519, interviews of students by outside agencies, 520, student surveys, and Form 520, public notice.
Lori is the chair of our policy committee again this year. She loves that title. It's her favorite job, I think. Lori, is there any relevance or pertinence for 519 and 520 tonight?
Tim needed to have this on there.
Okay. Tim, why did you have 519 and 520?
We're doing some, as part of the Ramp Up to Readiness program.
That's what it is.
Part of that agreement was to have the Midwest Regional Education Laboratory. We're part of a survey, or not a survey, a study with Ramp Up to Readiness. So they're going to be talking to some kids. So we wanted to make sure that we had all of those policies in place and ready to go before that.
Okay, great. Lori, are these new?
These are not new, but in the next couple months, you're going to start seeing all of those policies coming at you. All the series 100 through 900. And Deb Catterlick has been doing extensive work on the policies all summer long. So
Putting them on the webpage.
yeah, and comparing them to what we have on file, what we've had on file for years, and what MSBA's download is currently. So it's been a ton of work. But it's coming. So she's done a great job.
Thank you, Tim, for bringing those forward.
This is brought about by Ramp Up to Readiness, but it would fit us in so many other ways if this.
Exactly. As part of getting ready for this research study, they suggested that we look at our policies for this kind of stuff, and I went and looked at our policy, and the number is there, but I don't believe that 519 or 520 have ever actually been approved by the board. So, and they don't necessarily exactly fit what I was looking for, but they're good ones to have in there anyway, because as you read through those things do happen in schools. So it's a good idea to have it in place.
Okay. Look for a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the approval policies.
I'll second.
Rob on the motion, Kurt on the second. Other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Reports. Is this report night in actuality?
It is because it's one. You're only recording.
I get slapped down when I do it. But,
Yeah.
so board members. Reports. Anything for the cause here?
You want to talk
We do
about
committee stuff.
What's that?
I don't know if
This is a committee meeting.
This is not? Okay.
We should talk about the.
Oh, yeah.
The board.
Yeah, we're gonna have, what night is that? 7th October? We text.
I think it was,
I got it in here.
remember?
I don't have my calendar, I'm sorry.
There's
Lake
gonna
Tech
be-
Retreat, 9th of October, 7
It's for
p.m.
Lake
All the board members are going to be invited. Matter of fact, they're inviting some legislative people down.
Representatives.
Yeah, the representatives to come in. We're all going to be in our ITV rooms, all the different boards, so we can kind of display and show what WeTech has been doing, what the ITV rooms are doing. The public is invited, right?
I think it'd have to be if we're gonna.
Yeah.
If we're gonna
Well,
be
it's a
there.
retreat for the
Yeah, so there won't-
WeTech.
nothing, there won't
The
be.
board's not going to be discussing anything. It's just going to be like a show and tell.
Yeah.
So we're actually going to use our ITV?
Yes.
Well, not,
We
yeah,
have an
but,
ITV room now.
yes.
With WeTech.
Because it used to be there, right?
Yeah, no, we don't use this.
Yeah.
Right.
What is the date again?
The 9th of October, 7 p.m., Thursday.
And it's going to be here.
Well,
gonna be at
each
every
district's
site.
going to do their
Go to your
own.
ITV room.
No, we might do, are we doing a WeTech meeting? Because that's our WeTech meeting night time.
They had talked about that, but I think they just want to have this as a retreat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'll be interesting for, everyone to come in and kind of see what this is about. We've talked about it for a while. There's 260 students in the 4 districts signed up, 1 in Canada.
And that's normal your first year. It's
They've been
brand new
doing
this
this
year.
since the 80s.
Yes.
Aaron said. I
I
was
didn't know
shocked.
that.
I thought it was like maybe 5-6 years, but they've been doing this for a couple of decades. So then I understand why we're just getting into this. But yeah, I think we need good exposure.
And we'll get some other information before that time with an invitation or a.
I don't know.
I'm not
You
so
don't
sure.
I'm not sure. Is Aaron heading this up, or did he hand this over to Stephen?
Oh, I thought this was a Kurt and Rob invite.
No, this is-
Well, you are invited now. It's official.
I'll check with them tomorrow and I'll send you an email
Yeah.
to
Thank you.
It'd be nice to have some public people there, just from the public, just to see it.
Yeah.
So,
Good foundation, different people from different technology
Yeah.
sides.
Anyone else?
Kind of wondering where our student is.
Is that tonight?
Do we have?
Yeah, yeah, Ashley is still a student, she's looking for she's recruiting a junior. And honestly, her absence here is probably my fault because I kind of forgot to remind her about.
She'll blame me.
They got a calendar now.
Yeah.
Well, she's a senior,
Yeah.
so she doesn't have to have it. We can fix it for her.
Senior
Sarah will.
Okay.
I don't have one because I sent
No student report. I see we have a principal report.
Yeah, I won't read through all that because there's a lot there, but just some highlights. Again, last Monday and Tuesday was our iPad rollout. I'd just like to thank a few people. They're all listed there, but our sixth grade staff and our ninth grade staff were all there either Monday night or Tuesday night helping parents and students out. A special thanks to Enrique and Sandy Sherritt and Dorothy Strickland and Stephanie Fox and Phyllis Altoff for their help.
And Aaron Bergstrahl.
And Aaron Bergstrahl on Monday, he was there, and we had a lot of kind of nervousness about how that was all going to go, and I think we were very pleasantly surprised at how smoothly that whole process went. We handed out 130 of 190 devices of the high school, middle school devices on the first night. That made Tuesday seem like it was easy, but. Again, the kids are all really excited. Staff are really starting to get excited about using these devices in school too. So thank you very much for your generosity and making sure that all happens for our kids. You're going to hear more about Ramp Up to Readiness as the year goes on, but we've already had our first 2 Ramp Up sessions. Basically, the middle school, high school schedule looks like this year is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, we have a normal schedule, and on Thursday, we have a ramp-up day. So our classes are about 5 minutes shorter, and that time goes together to make up a 30-minute ramp-up to readiness class period. Just kind of FYI, all 11th grade students are going to be taking the ACT Plus writing in April this year. That is a new state testing kind of thing. So we're looking at making sure that our site is certified to provide that and how we're going to logistically make all of that happen. We've done lots of testing already. I've got 1 million meetings coming up in the next 3 weeks. As I looked at my calendar, it's a good thing that we have Mike here because it looks like I'm going to be gone a lot. And since we don't have a student here today, homecoming's coming up the week after next week, I guess. I don't know if you noticed or not, but there's a big boulder on the southeast corner of the field house. That was installed this weekend. That's the new Cannon Falls Spirit Rock. One night this week, I think maybe tomorrow night, it's going to be painted. And the student council is going to do like lots of high schools do and have that, but they'll paint it for different events and things like that. So the kids are amazingly excited about having that.
A rock.
And before we approved that, we made it very clear that if there is any type of defacing or anything like that, the student council is going to take care of it, and they've all said that they're going to do that. One quick note, Jake, I hope I don't steal your thunder on this, but last week on Wednesday, we had the HVL and Section 1 annual meeting, and just 2 things that came out of that. Our dues for HVL are going up this year by $100 due to the loss of 2 schools. And another thing of note is that the section admission prices will be $1 higher for parents and for students than the HVL prices. So section football, section volleyball, section dance, any of that kind of stuff will be $7 for adults and $5 for students, whereas HVL pricing right now is $6 and $4. So just in case you hear any grumbling about that kind of stuff when it comes up. And if you'd like to be a part of our homecoming celebrations next week, let me know and I'll send you the dress-up day calendars and you guys can dress up for all that kind of stuff.
Good thing we don't have meetings.
Remember to get the right day, Jerry.
Right, I'll be here.
Yep. Mike?
Yep, filling in for Derek Bell tonight. He wanted to also just piggyback what Tim had already said about how important it was our one-to-one night and the people who supported that and made it all happen. So a third, fourth, fifth thank you to Dorothy and Sandy and Aaron and Phyllis and Stephanie for really doing the legwork. It was pretty easy for these guys to stand up there and look smart as they talk about them, but then when it came to passing out $250,000 worth of technology, we wouldn't have been able to do it without them. So Derek wanted to make sure we thanked you and those people again. Derek wanted to talk a little bit about the security system at the elementary. As of now, all external doors have been outfitted with their electronic locks and their fob readers, which is a good thing. The buzzer system is installed. It's more like a bell system, believe it or not. So that's up and running. So that's a nice feature that the elementary is utilizing. It's all software based, so it's pretty convenient for our secretaries to log in and view whoever's at the front door or any of the doors on their computer screen. So that was nice. Originally, it was going to be a phone system. I don't know if you guys remember that or not, but it actually ended up being a better system this way. All our key fobs have been issued to pre-K and Canon kids, but with very limited access. And we've worked with Dave Peterson to really pinpoint when and where people could come in, and that system, I believe, has been working exceptionally well. And he just wanted all you know that there is a panic button installed in the main office, so anytime that Rob walks in, they can just hit that door and things are shut down. So as far as technology goes, I know that Ms. Bowen had said there might be one student left, and that's news to me. I thought we actually had them all passed out. So again, distributing them and getting them in the classrooms. Our targeted services, what we call Bomber Academy, is going to start up here in a few weeks. That's the extra learning, the extended daytime that students who qualify for it. We'll be offering that for K through 8 again. That'll be Tuesday and Thursday nights after school. The Gaga Pit has been built and it's being utilized with our students at the elementary. Ms. Brummer and Mr. Peterson have been teaching the students how to play. And so if you've ever been down there, if you've looked at it, it's already war-torn, and it looks like it's awesome. Like, it's totally got all the, like, battle scars that we want to see in a Gaga pit that's being used, so.
Ed Foundation paid for that as well.
Yeah, and I think it was, what's that?
You've never seen one?
It's true, it's a huge octagon. It's about the size of this room, and then students play it. It's a like dodgeball in that you don't want the ball to hit you. It can't touch you, but you're allowed to hit the ball. So you can like tap the ball, almost like a polo action with your arm. So you swat the ball at people, and if the ball hits you, you're out. And the fence is only about 3 feet tall, so you hop the fence, and then you play. It's like an elimination style game, so you play until like only so many people are left, and then you call a new game or whatever. So
Can people volley just play?
It would be really, maybe that's what we pitched
I don't
to
know, with
staff.
insurance covered,
Board meeting.
you know,
Yes.
people being hurt.
Yeah. Not all grades actually use it. We've been slowly implementing with the older students so that they can, help referee it when the younger kids start playing. And the last but not least, elementary conferences are right around the corner. So make sure you mark your calendars the 13th and 14th of October.
Hey Mike, with the fob cards and stuff with Canon Kids, that still goes on to what, is it 6 o'clock? Canon Kids?
Yeah, Kids goes to 6.
Is that, they still utilize the safety systems after school at regular hours and?
After school is the only time it's open because of practices and stuff like that. So it's open from 2:45 till I think 8 p.m. and then it's locked even through the morning and throughout the school day. So the teachers let kids in the morning, or our preschool kids have a 20-minute window where the parents can fob into door B, bring their kids, sign them in, and go on their way. So a 20-minute window is all they have.
Okay.
If it's before school care, like if we have kids get dropped at 6 a.m., those parents get a car that works from 6 to when school starts at 7:45.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Mike, you're finished?
I am absolutely.
Okay. Jake?
I got nothing. I didn't know it was important.
Very busy. You're pumping there with that paper, and I'm thinking, geez, I'm going to call on We're busy building a house.
Yeah.
Okay, upcoming meetings, October of 2014. Among the things we have right here, that custodian's contract, which we'll be approving, hopefully. And anything else that you need for the cause, please contact Lori or Beth, and we'll get that added. Okay. When is our retreat? That's the name of it. November like 8th or something like that.
Well, we moved it
I'll
to 12.
Yeah.
send you reminders on that too.
Sure. Okay, public forum. We don't have much public here, but if anybody would like to speak, they sure can. Time's up. Okay, anything else from anyone? If not, I'd look for a motion to adjourn our meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Motion
I'll
by
second.
Kurt, seconded by Rob. Further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. We are adjourned.
What program is being